Hello everybody, welcome back to another video for my channel. Today I'm going to be working on a bathhouse and a hot springs that I'll be talking about a little bit. I worked on my microphone settings to try and make sure that all that I'm saying is very clear. I hope it's good. If it's not, probably with the next video that'll come out, it'll be a little bit better. But for now, I hope it's good enough, clear enough. We'll hop right into it. Well, I guess first I want to tell you about little bee sanctuary I made with the big flowers. Maybe a thing I can add here is like one big bee floating around, so he can be the one pollinating the big flowers, and then the little bees will be the ones pollinating the little flowers. But they're happy, they're zooming. I think they look great. We also worked a little bit on a monastery to accompany the cathedral down here, which is also not really the subject of this video, but it's nice to maybe walk around past it a little bit, as we'll probably be flying past it a little bit, because the real subject of this video is right behind our little cliff down here. And it's supposed to be accompanying the geysers we have, which probably everybody that's visited this channel has already seen at this point. That's like the only Minecraft video I have. But what I'm missing here is that it feels a little disconnected. I'm not saying it doesn't look nice or anything, because I really love how it's like tucked away in this little spot, this little down area in between all these bigger cliffs. But there is not really any environmental storytelling to explain, like, how did this get here? It feels a little disconnected from the rest of the world, because there's supposed to be like a big magma or something else down below in the earth, which is heating up the water enough for them to spout out in these geysers. I have them turned off right now because I was away a little bit gathering some materials. But I figured, why not do something that has, like hot water, which is, first of all, Japanese hot springs, and second of all, a bathhouse. We have a little path here that I prepared that leads you all the way down to a big open pond. It's really big, or at least very deep. And I thought that could be the perfect place to tell a little story about the environment of a magma chamber down here that is heating up this whole area to create something down here that is inspired by the Japanese hot springs. And I'm sure it'll look really great once we do some terraforming and once we add some more details, because I like the shape that we have here. This little pond, the way that the cliffs loom over it almost, it's like a little secret hidden away of nature, where it's like the most beautiful places sometimes are right around the corner, but you never see them. Anyway, I will be working on this with some terraforming and then adding some details to make it look all hot springy. And then afterwards, I thought, why not combine it? Because we have a large open cave down here. Why not combine it with a bathhouse? So we have an outdoor bathing area and an indoor bathing area that both benefit from the magma chamber that would be somewhere in the earth down below here. Since it's a cave and there is lots of open space, I thought, why not let myself be inspired by the Sigmund's bathhouse from The Witcher 3? Personally, the gloomy atmosphere and the fact that it's also in the game a little bit difficult to find, or at least it's not the most obvious that there is actually a bathhouse down there. It could be the perfect way of doing this. This pad already is a little off the beaten path. The base is on the other side of this cliff, and you'd need to do like a little journey to go all the way to get here. And I thought the color theme that I've laid out with the green and the blue copper together with the tuff is probably a really good choice to make it all gloomy and isolated, darky vibes. So I figured, let's start with the hot springs, see what the area ends up looking, and then based on that, I'll continue onward with the bathhouse on here. Here we have it, a first attempt at creating a natural hot springs in a creative world, where I did some research, and apparently there's a lot of mineral depositing happening in the hot springs due to the fact that, first of all, the water evaporates and leaves behind some of this iron deposits and such on the banks. That in turn creates these big iron veins, but also influences like the color of the soil basically surrounding it. I also found out that if you have these very large pools, that they generally don't get heated too much because there is just so much water to disperse the heat that the tiny pools, if you would have them, generate a lot more heat. So I figured I'd try and create a balance in between having some tiny pools, having a slightly bigger pool, and then having the big one where people would be chilling most of the time, I assume. Now, the shape is something that is freeform over here, where I will be sort of contained within the walls that the survivor world already has. So the main idea with this was just to figure out a vibe and a block palette, where the red sand combined with the soul soil, combined with some mud right behind it, mixed in with some tough and cobbled deep slates. I think it looks great. We have some basalts for the vertical parts, and this is something that I really like. One thing as well that I really think is great for this is the divider between like this little pool and that one. It creates a little island in the middle where I can assume like kids will be jumping all the time, right? This is like a place that adults would fear their kids slipping and breaking a leg or something. Um, where the everybody in this pool who's just relaxing, constantly having to deal with the like cannonball, and then having water splash in their face. I assume that's not how this usually goes, but that was at least something that I really enjoyed about this. That we have this nice little divider. I am going to try and keep that, as well as trying to create like these little hot tub pools, and then have to find a way to constrain it within the limited space that we have, while also providing some walkways, because that is something you would probably want. I don't think you would want to like walk all the way around just to get to this part where currently you can't even really get in, except for with this one. I guess, people could try and sneak on the cliffs over here, try and get into these ones. But yeah, that's the idea, and we'll see how to implement it. I have most of these materials. That is something I was trying to be mindful of. Most of these materials I have plentiful of, especially like the tuff, the deep slate, the basalt, the soul. The only things that I'm really lacking is mud, although generally kind of easy to create with just dirt basically and some water. And then the red sand is something that I will have to probably go look for. I have a little bit, I think about 1.5 stacks available in my storage system right now, but it would probably be great to go out and find a Misa, just so I can get some more of it and be safe in the amount. So yeah, I'll see you guys during or after that search for the red sand has completed, and then when I'll start building on the actual structures. it's always great sitting in a warm hot springs hot tub, especially after a day of hard work. And what a day of hard work it has been, because look at this. I finished the place up, added all the details and the greenery. Um, I tried tying everything together using like some bamboo together with the dead bushes, some of the twisting vines that are hanging down in the red shades to tie the color scheme basically together with all the red-ish colors that were used down here at the ground. There's some yellow, some red coral that do the same from the water. Some firefly bushes. We have some candles sitting on top of some bamboo, some lights hanging down. Everything is basically made to feel cozy. And yeah, I really enjoy it. There's a little path that can bring you up to the hot tubs. There's a little path down here. If you wouldn't necessarily want to go into the hot tubs, that you can use to get to this little water source over here. The waterfall down here. Oh, this took me so much work. Because of the way that the overhang works, or well, I created it, I guess. I probably just did this to myself. But it's the way that these azalea leaves overhang, the vines dripping down from it. It was sort of difficult to get a natural looking water source in between, make it feel like, well, it is. It comes out of the wall actually, but it doesn't necessarily look like that. Um, but I thought it was very important to tie all these colors in together. I spent a lot of time working on the lighting as well for these areas, where I put some copper bulbs as well below, like the slabs that you can see in some places. I tried putting them close to the magma blocks so it looks like they are the ones lighting up the underwater area. Outside of that, you have these classic like hanging lamps, together with some of the candles, some of the glowberries, and even the firefly bushes. They add a little detail as well. But that all ties in together really well. Even at night, where it's during nighttime right now, it's a perfect moment to the perfect moment to show off what it looks like at night. Where yeah, I'm just really happy with how it turned out. I just like the vibes. This is maybe the coziest place, or and like the most serene place that I've ever built in Minecraft. And that's saying something, because I created a cathedral dedicated to the concept of serenity, where I also really enjoyed walking around in, just for the fact that it is so like relaxing basically. And then, you know, sitting in the hot tub, sitting in this water over here, I think I deserved it after all this hard work. It I just can't get enough of it. It looks so good. And it looks so cozy. Just, yeah, that's the best way I can describe it. So I hope you guys liked the video as much as I liked building this. And hopefully I'll see you guys next time for the video that will be about Bad House, which I have done nothing for just yet. But that's not the point, you know. The point is to enjoy what we have created, which is this nice, relaxing place. I could sit here all day, literally. I have done it, sitting here almost all day, just to enjoy the vibes, just to take in the scenery. And I hope you guys enjoy it as much. So I'll see you guys around. Bye.